I've always heard people say that the Denver Botanic Gardens is one of the calmest, most beautiful places in all of Colorado. A sanctuary of bright flowers, koi ponds, and gentle pathways. So when I finally decided to visit, I expected nothing more than a peaceful afternoon. But I learned very quickly, this place is peaceful only on the surface. The moment I stepped through the entrance, I felt it. This strange heaviness in the air, like the entire garden was holding its breath. Everyone around me seemed relaxed, smiling, enjoying the sun. But I felt eyes on me, watching from somewhere I couldn't see. I brushed it off and began to walk deeper into the gardens, admiring the roses and the tiny streaks of sunlight between the leaves. But then, something strange happened. As I stopped to take a photo of a pond, I heard it, whispering. At first, I thought it was just people talking nearby, but the sound came from beneath the ground, soft, hissing voices. I couldn't make out the words, but they sounded desperate, angry. When I turned around, there was no one near me. I told myself it was just the wind, but that's when I remembered what someone once told me, that this entire place used to be a cemetery. Many years ago, thousands of bodies were buried beneath these gardens. The city tried to move them somewhere else when they built over the land, but not every body was found. Not every grave was emptied. Some of them never left. I tried to shake off the uneasiness and continued to explore, walking through a path lined with tall trees. The sun was bright, but suddenly a cold breeze wrapped around my neck, like icy fingers sliding across my skin. I froze. A group of tourists passed me, laughing loudly, but none of them felt it. Just me. I hurried forward, and at one point I stopped near a greenhouse filled with exotic plants. The smell of flowers was overwhelming, sweet, strong, unreal. But it didn't make sense. It was winter. Most of the plants outside were dead, resting, waiting for spring. So why could I smell fresh flowers blooming right next to me? The greenhouse door creaked, but no one was there. I felt a chill crawl down my spine. I turned to leave, but before I could take a step, I heard whispering again, louder this time. It sounded like it was coming from the nearby ground, like voices rising from beneath the soil. I held my breath and listened. At first, it was just a soft murmur. But then I heard a word, clear, sharp. Stay. I staggered backward. My heart was pounding so loudly that it drowned everything else out. I tried to convince myself I was imagining things. But then, something happened that I still can't explain. A shadow passed behind me, long, thin, and tall. It moved across the garden path silently, like it wasn't touching the ground at all. I spun around, but there was nothing there. My hands were shaking. I needed to leave. But every turn I took led me deeper into the gardens, like the paths were shifting around me. As I walked, the coldness intensified. I could see my breath in the air even though the sun was shining. I felt dizzy, like something was pulling me further in. At one point, I stopped beneath an old tree. Its roots were thick and twisted, pushing up through the earth like they were trying to escape something buried underneath. The wind carried a faint cry. Not a whisper this time. A cry. I backed away slowly. And that's when I noticed something sticking out from under the roots. It was round, pale, a piece of bone. My chest tightened. I wasn't supposed to see that. Suddenly, every sound around me stopped. No birds, no wind, nothing. Then, right beside my ear, a voice whispered, "You shouldn't be here." I ran. I didn't care where I was going. I just needed to get out. As I sprinted down the path, I saw something move behind a set of trees, tall, dark figures. They drifted in and out of the shadows, following me without taking a single step. I could feel them getting closer. When I finally reached the entrance, I stumbled into the sunlight. The air returned to normal, warm, peaceful. The people around me smiled as if nothing was wrong. I turned back to look at the gardens. Nothing chased me. Nothing moved. It looked just as it had when I arrived. Quiet, calm, beautiful. But now I know better. The Denver Botanic Gardens may look like a sanctuary, but beneath the flowers and the sunlight, thousands of forgotten souls are still trapped there. Some whisper, some wander, and some wait. So if you ever decide to visit, remember this: not everyone who enters the gardens comes back the same. Some leave with memories, some leave with secrets, and some never leave at all.